Let me turn on this. Okay? Okay. Well, we are here again. We'll see what happened today. Hopefully, all things goes well. I'm gonna boldly read this thing. I would like to invite you to Hebrews chapter 10, 23. Hebrews chapter 10, 23. And follow. Hebrews chapter 10, 23. Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promised. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see the day approaching. While I was with a good brother, I was talking about a lesson that we can learn together. One of the things that he told me is that we need to hear about commitment. So I was thinking about a lesson that I already have with the Spanish class that I would like to share, but also it will be a little bit more information that I will give you about this. And it's the topic is very simple, as I just did it. It's commitment to coming and doing a live for God or to God. I don't remember very well. I hope it's in the grammar way is good. But it's very simple. Commitment to coming and do something. Let me tell you that it's very important for us to have in mind how many hours do we have during the day. And we're going to see something, here right now that I would like to show you. And it's very simple. You probably all know, if I ask you how many hours we have in a day, then you're going to say 24 hours. How many hours do we have in a week? And those that do math very well, they will say, Efrain, 168. Say, okay, let's continue. And what about in a month? How many hours do we have in a month? Well, I know that Mark wants to say this, but no, Mark, not right now. 672, 672. But we have all these hours in 1 month, 672 hours in a whole month for us. But we are going to divide them. Very simple. We are going to divide them in the hours that we take some rest. Commonly, we can say during the day, sometimes we spend about 8 hours. It's probably less, but we will take 8 hours. And we will say, from these 672 hours, we can say we rest about 196 hours per month. 196 hours per month. And the rest of them, which are 476 hours, are all for us. What about that? 476 hours are all for us. They are, too much hours, don't you think? Too much things to do with those hours. You will know what to do with them. Most of all of you might be probably working, doing school, doing something else. They are yours. They are yours. And what I want you about to show you is very simple here. Okay, I hope this works. They say, I don't know. I say, let's try. I say, let's do it. Okay? So talking about Christians, from these 476 hours, we might take some hours, for doing the will of God. So we have, in a week, we have Wednesdays and Sundays. And what we do is that we take here, how it works. Let's see, weekly. We take 1 hour here on Wednesday and 3 on Sunday. 2 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. And monthly, then we take 4 and we take 12, which total is 16. I hope doing good in math. Okay. So what happened here? This is what we can say as Christians, we commit to God in doing this. Taking around 16 hours to God. And we can say that you're going to have here a line. So we have 476 hours for us. And then we say we're going to do 16 hours for God. So what happened? If we take this as the 100%, 476 hours, we're gonna have that at the end. We are giving from these hours 3.4% to God, and we are taking from these hours, we are taking 96.6%. This, somehow we can say, is what God is somehow requiring from us. From all this, He's requiring 3.4. And then we can say, we can have all 96%. But what happened? Well, what happened is, we sometimes are not here. Sometimes we might say, I can't be here Wednesdays, so no Wednesdays. Which means we are no longer taking 16 hours. We're taking this away. So we are just taking 12 hours, which means in percentage, we are giving to God 2.5. And we are taking for us 97.5. And then we can say, well, sometimes I cannot come in one Sunday. So just 3 Sundays, which means 9 hours and 0.8% for God. Oh, sorry, it's 1.8. And then for us, 98.2%. But what happened is, sometimes I just can come to Sundays, which means we're giving 6 hours to God. 1.2%. We're taking for us 98.8%. And what happened? Well, sometimes happen that these 2 Sundays that we are coming, we are not coming in the afternoon. So you are not that people. You're the other one. Okay? So, no coming in the afternoons. Which means we're giving 4 hours, 0.8% to God. And we are taking 99.2 for us. With what happened is, when we come on this Sunday, we come late. We come late. Well, the only 2 Sundays that we are coming late. Late. So, which means we're at the end of the road. Monthly, we're giving God 2 hours. Which means 0.4%. But you know what? We can add some more things here. Like we're coming late, but then what happens is we are not paying attention. We are not paying attention. We don't care about the person that is in front speaking, or we might care, but the problem is we didn't rest well. And what's going to happen? I love this kind of people. You know why? Because they are saying all the time. Great. Great. I have them. You know, I can take them with me because they are always supporting me. It's great. I like that kind of people. At the end, that people is just taking 1 hour for God, which means 0.2%, and taking for themselves. So we have here .2 against 99.8%. And then what happened? Well, when we have an activity in the church, we don't have time. We don't have time. So we are giving to us 99.8% and saying, I don't have time. I'm sorry, I don't have time. I'm so busy. Taking all these hours for us. It's not complicated. It's easy to understand. The question here is, where are we? Where are we? And we can ask ourselves, am I committed to God? Am I a real Christian committed to God and what I need to do? And let me tell you something. We are just talking about am I right? Being here is B-E-I-N-G, isn't it? With this, we are just talking about being here. Come and sit. It's all. That's what we read there. Don't you agree? That's what we read. We try to not forsake, the assembly and be here. So, this is about just being here. But what about the doing? Because when we go to James chapter 1, 22, then we read this. James 1, 22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. Be ye doers of the word, and not only hearers. This is about coming and hear. Now, we are going to the doing. And what about the doing? Well, we can do a scale like this also about doing. And we're probably going to be crying outside today. Why? Because sometimes commitment is not longer in our lives. And I'm not talking about work. You might be the person, the first, place in your work, in your job. But what about Christianity? What about the Lord? What about God? What about that person that is giving us each day life? And He is not hard on us. He's giving us all this and asking just for this. Giving us all this, which means about 96% of our time, and asking, just give me 3.4% of your time. So I'm going to ask, don't we have a great God? Don't we have a great God? I just wonder what God might think from us. And I'm not talking about other congregations. I don't care about other congregations. I'm talking about this congregation. I'm talking about us. There are many here that all together we can be doing more as a church, but also in our personal work to God. Because as a church, we can say, well, we have a lot of pictures there about all the work we are doing, and we're just perfectly fine. No problem about it. We are together on that. Great. I just go bed and sleep well. But what about in my personal life? Here, James is talking clearly. Don't deceive. Don't deceive yourself. Think about it. Are we really the Christian people that God might be proud of? Sometimes when I see this, I feel like this. Even when I think about this, sometimes I say, I still too much to learn and too much to do. My brethren, in the first century, there were many Christians assembling as you and I, and they were trying to do what they can at the best as they can. But also I want to tell you that they were under persecution, though they were still there. Great, don't you think? Faithful Christian there. And not only sitting there and hearing and partaking of all the things that as Christians we need to do, but also doing something. It's not about just, you can take the pew to your house and be sitting there. The pew won't take you heaven. Won't take you to heaven. It's not about the pew. It's not about this place. It's about showing us as real Christians how we should be doing. And everybody here has a work to do. Everybody. If we want. And ask the people Ask the leaders of the congregation if you don't see something, because sometimes we might not see something and saying, I'm okay. There's no room for me. Everybody has everything, you know. That's not true. That's not true. I'm glad that we're still having great and faithful Christians today, showing us a great example. You see the mature people that are here, still here, till today, no matter what and how they are. Sometimes some of them are not even able to walk, though they are here, not forsaking the assembly. But there are many young couples, many mature couples, many great people that might be doing more. And you know where are they today? Where are they in this afternoon? Saying, we are Christians, but not having time for God. Even this, taking all this and saying, we are Christians. And that happened, brother. And it's sad. I'm not against anybody here. As I told you, we need to learn. We need to learn. In the time of the Apostle Paul, when we got to 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 6, there were people doing something. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, 6, 1 Corinthians 3, 6, says Paul, I have planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. What they were doing? Well, Paul says, I'm planting. Apollos is teaching. He is watering. God is doing the increase. They were just sitting, watching each other. No. They were doing something. They were doing something. And then when we go to Romans chapter 16, verse 20. Romans chapter 16, 20 through 23. And the God of peace shall bruise Satan under your feet shortly. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you. Amen. Timotheus, my work fellow, or my co-worker, and Lucius, and Jason, and Sosipater, my kinsmen, salute you. I, Tertius, who wrote this epistle, salute you in the name of the Lord. Gaius, mine host, and of the whole church salute you. These were people involved in something with Paul, isn't it? They were doing something. Gaius, he said, I'm writing. You say, Paul, what I need to write? We have this here. We have this print. He did something. And we can talk about this man. But also we have some others there. And he's talking about Timothy, his co-worker. So they were working together. They were doing something. It was not about just sitting and hearing. It was about doing something. And then we have 1 Corinthians chapter 16. 15 through 16. 1 Corinthians 16, 15 through 16. 1 Corinthians 16, 15. I beseech you, brethren, ye know the house of Stephanas, that it is the first fruit of Achaia, and that they have addicted themselves to the ministry of the saint, to the service of the saint. But you know what they say? Paul said they have addicted to the service, to doing the Lord's work. They got addicted. Great description, isn't it? 16, that ye submit yourself unto such, and to everyone that helpeth with us, and laboreth. And laboreth. My brethren, I will say that the Lord is looking for people that hear Him. The Lord is looking for people also that can and want and love to work for Him. He is looking for all of them that want to hear, that want to believe, and that want to be doers of the word. He is looking for that kind of people. And that kind of people is the kind of people that one day, for sure, is going to be in heaven. In heaven. That kind of people. And that kind of people, I assure you, they can rest well. Because if any moment the Lord comes, they are good with His Lord. No problem. I believe it will be great when the Lord tells us, get ready, back. We are leaving. You're done here. I'm going to take you with me. You're going to have the rest. You're going to have a beautiful place to rest. And that's what we are looking forward. Isn't it? If we really want to do that, then we need to do something about it. Don't you think? We need to do something about it. We need to commit to come and do to God. It's not for me. It won't change anything on me if you do or not. I will still having, many things to resolve in my life. But it'll be great in your life. Because He'll be counting, not with me, not with Mark, not with the elders, but with the Lord. He will be counting for you. 1 Corinthians 15:58, and with this verse, I end the lesson. 1 Corinthians 15:58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. He will know. He will know how to take care of us. Of us, and I'm talking about of all of them that were coming and doing something for the Lord. He will count that for them. I hope that we all as Christians want to change what we need to change about it. And I hope it's not only a wanting in our mind. And I hope it don't get just in your mind and then getting outside of here, fly away. I hope that you and I together will really do something about be Christians that has a good commitment with the Lord. But also, let me tell you that if you are thinking you are not being that person that the Lord wants for you to be, today is a good day that you can come forward and ask for forgiveness. He's waiting for you with the hands open. And He will forgive you. You know why? Because He loves you. And also because He really wants for you to be that person reaching heaven one day. But also for all of them that might not be Christians today, the opportunity is at hand. You can take it. The opportunity to be a doer for the Lord, be a fellow worker, be a great worker to reach heaven is at hand. You can take it tonight if you want. While we sing the invitation song, you can come forward.